Welcome to another episode of Tommy's Trains. Today we're going to see if these Trainline by Walthers are any good at what they're hyped up to be. And this is a little bit older. This has Easy Mate Bachman couplers on it. It's Walthers Lifelike, and it's non-DCC, so it's just a DC train. I don't think it has metal wheels on it, so we might be updating those a little bit later. But when I get my permanent layout built, I'm going to have a little, what I call an Air Force station. It's going to have a radar site on top of the hill with some military barracks and some train cars and stuff. So I wanted a military train to service that line, so it'll be its own little branch line. So I have this US Army locomotive, and it came with a caboose. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this and put it on the test track and see how it goes. So stick around and we'll check it out. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got going on here. So this, the Walthers Trainline, this is like their basic trains. Nothing fancy, supposedly. They're not the protos, they're just the regular old trains. So we got a warranty, shows you how to grease everything, oil it. So nothing too fancy, just a photocopy of how to take care of your train. So US Army locomotive, looks pretty good. Handrails on it, Bachman couplers are in good shape. Cupola caboose, and it feels pretty light. It feels like the old Lifelikes. One thing I can tell you about it though is it's body-mounted couplers, and they have the screws in it. They're not like the old Lifelikes where it just had these two like expansion tabs that you would shove in, kind of like Tyco's and AHM's were. So you can update these to better truck, which I think we'll go ahead and do that before we even use it. We're going to update this real quick. I don't think it'll be too difficult to put some weight on it and make it so that it's going to perform a little bit better than what it's going to do right now, because this really does not feel like it's going to hang on the tracks very well. So let's just shift the camera angle and go to work and spruce this up a little bit. All right, this will only take a couple minutes to do. The first thing you want to do is be really careful about how we open this, because we don't want to break it. But what I need to do is somehow separate the body from the car. And a lot of times these will pop right off. Sometimes they don't, but kind of have to feel it and see how that's going to go. All right, and you can see there is a weight on there, but it's not very significant at all. Now, first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and take these trucks off. This will just take a second. I happen to have some KD metal wheels. And I think you can do this two ways. You can just kind of take it off. Those are for sure plastic. You can tell just by looking at it. And I don't like plastic wheels, so I always change them. These are KD metal wheels. And when you put these in, you kind of have to check it out and see. I can see this is spinning really well, so I'm not worried about that. So they're spinning pretty good. I'll do the other side real quick. Now, sometimes you have to use this little router that you get from Micromark to make that happen efficiently, but fortunately we didn't have to with this one. Don't lose the screw that's in there. I recommend, if you're going to be doing a lot of this, to go ahead and go on Amazon or something and get yourself a little kit with all these different screws. I think 256 or something like that is pretty common. So the second truck, if you have trouble with the trucks, you can also use this thing also from Micromark. And what this does is it goes in and it goes around the axles like that, and then it separates and these pop right out. So sometimes you get one of these, and if you feel like you're gonna have to start reefing on it, you want to make sure that you don't, because you'll snap these bars off here. And then what I want to do after that is you take a little bit of this labels and put just a drop in the bearings, and that will work itself in. Additionally, when I put this on, I'm going to put a drop right here where it rubs on both sides. Screws on these are really tiny, so you don't want to lose those. And then we'll go ahead and put this back on. And when you put these on, you don't want to snug it too much, otherwise you'll have issues. And then I put a drop of labels in there like that. So what you want is you want it to have free range of motion without being rickety. You can make it so it binds up, and then you get derailments. So be careful of that also. Looking pretty good. And these right here are adhesive stick-on weights that you put on your car tires when they balance them. So these are 1/4 ounce each. And I generally put 2. I don't weigh them. I know NMRA has their standards, but I'm not going to ever run these on somebody else's layout, especially not a railroad club's layout. So I just put a couple, and that seems to be plenty. I think you can have like 3.5 ounces or something with an MRA, so that feels pretty good. I'll put this back on. So I think I'm going to put just a little bit of cement on these. I'm not going to be opening that back up again. Just put a little dab so that these aren't, like, just if they fall off the tracks or something, just the whole thing doesn't come off and it's the last time you ever see it. All right. So just like that, we have a pretty nice caboose. We have metal RP25 wheel sets. We got the knuckle couplers on it, and got some good weight to it. So let's take this over to the test track and give it a go. Now with these digital commander power packs, if you go to 10, that is what gives you analog. And you can see that it's idling, and you don't want to do that for a long time because you'll overheat the motor in it, and then bad things happen. And it does remind me of typical Lifelike. The the analog or the incandescent light is kind of bright and it shines through the cab. So if you want to get really detailed on this, I would take the cab apart, take the shell off, and then blacken the roof. I would take some black paint and go ahead and make that so the light's not bleeding through the cab. Well, all right, folks, there you have it, the WM K Walthers Trainline, United States Army, and the cupola caboose that we've upgraded. So they run pretty well, and they're going to be great for the little branch line that I'm going to have going to the Air Force Station. Appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, please take a moment and subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you next time. Take care now.